All right, here we go again, using Portland's turmoil as a hook to get people to watch a video. But in this video, we're going to talk about some of the reasons why people say they aren't leaving Portland, which I think is good information to know if you are considering moving to the area. If you are considering moving to Portland, you're looking at the pros and the cons, the good and the bad, just like you would if you were moving to any city in the country. And so if we're looking at generally overall kind of quality of life and what are some of the things that are keeping people in the area, we're going to talk about it in this video. Stay tuned to learn more. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Paul Clem with the Oregon Relocation Team coming to you from Portland, Oregon. Again, in this video, we're going to look at some recent survey data explaining why, or rather, what are some of the reasons why people are choosing to stay in Portland. As you know, Portland has had a declining population since around 2020. The population did grow last year by 800 people. So over that time, there's certainly been people moving into the area, but net, there has been more people leaving in the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm not going to talk about the reasons why that is specifically. We've talked about it in other videos. I think if you read the headlines, you can probably guess why. There are a lot of well-documented issues that the city of Portland is facing, and because of that, the entire metro area, I think it's an area that some people here locally, maybe they've just had enough, or it's just not quite fitting kind of who they are in term culturally or politically, whatever it may be. So, of course, a lot of people have decided to leave. The top issues, obviously being things like homelessness, high taxes, uh, open drug use, things like that, around the city, affordability, housing costs, lack of housing, which is obviously something that affects what we do on a day-to-day basis. And I can tell you that today there are more homes to choose from, more homes on the market than there were 3, 4, 5 years ago, for sure. Now, the affordability piece is, I think, where you see a lot of people looking elsewhere, moving to different parts of the country where they can potentially get into a home altogether or just get more home for their dollar. Portland and the metro area, this is the most affordable major city on the West Coast. But being on the West Coast in and of itself does mean that you are going to be spending more on housing overall. So, again, there are these really well documented reasons why people are leaving. But in this video, I want to talk more about what's keeping people around. Oh, and hey, if this is your first time to the channel or you've been here and you haven't already and you want to get more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. And we've helped so many people relocate to Portland and move to the Portland metro area. And as real estate professionals, we absolutely love to help with that process. So if that's you, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or click that link down below in the description of the video. Schedule a Zoom call with us. We can talk more about it. Okay, so in a recent survey conducted by the Oregonian, which is a statewide publication, that's like the big newspaper here, and their website is OregonLive.com. And this is where I saw this study published. They asked people what are the things they enjoy about living in the Portland metro area, and specifically, what are the things that prevent them from moving elsewhere. 31% of people said the natural beauty, 13% of people said access to the outdoors, and 7% of people said access to recreation. So when you look at recreation as a category, that's really going to kind of fall in line with the outdoors, the natural beauty, etc. So if you add all that up, that is 51% of respondents basically citing something related to the natural environment, the natural beauty, the outdoors, recreation. And so, some people are a little more adventurous than others, and they really get out and enjoy the hiking and snowboarding and hunting and fishing and, you name it, boating, getting on the water. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that living in this area gives you the ability to do in terms of outdoor recreation. But not everybody is necessarily as adventurous, but that doesn't mean they don't appreciate their surroundings. So recreation, to me, that doesn't necessarily mean getting out and going for a walk, which is how a lot of people do tend to enjoy nature. But even if it is just the natural beauty that you see on your commute or driving around the Portland metro area, part of this also is going to be access to the outdoors and the natural beauty within an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour drive of Portland, where you can obviously enjoy all of the parks and green spaces and miles of trails and thousands of acres of parks and wooded areas right in the Portland metro area. But you can drive 90 minutes west and get to the beach. You can drive a few hours, maybe 3 hours east and get to Central Oregon, where you are in a high desert, like wild, wild west type environment, completely different than what you have in the valley. And then going north and south to so many beautiful lakes and waterfalls and hiking trails and mountains and just so much to do. So, it's obviously something that people who, like myself, have lived in Oregon their whole life, something they're accustomed to, something they enjoy, definitely a big part of the culture here. And for people that we work with who are moving to Portland or moving to Oregon, this is definitely something that is atop their list as far as at least one of the primary reasons why they're moving to the area. And often this is people moving from areas like Texas or Arizona or the Midwest, even California, where California is obviously a beautiful state, and every state has, its own redeeming qualities in terms of natural beauty and outdoor recreation and things like that. But Portland and the Portland metro area is uniquely situated in such a way where, again, you have all of this natural beauty in a really big radius, but you don't have to go too far to access it. Now, something that I found interesting when looking at this recent survey was comparing the responses from people living in the Portland metro area when you look at similar surveys that have been conducted in other cities and other states. So there were a couple cited in this article where there was a similar survey done in Vermont, there was a similar survey done in Michigan, and these are arguably equally beautiful states, at least, very beautiful parts of the country. And the top responses on the surveys in these areas were family or work. So people were saying that they are staying put because they have family in the area or because they have a career in the area and it doesn't make sense to move. Where in Portland, again, the top 51% of responses were related to natural beauty and the ability to get outdoors and enjoy recreation. So that seems to be something that is really unique to the area. I know in my lifetime, there's been a ton of people who have relocated to Oregon and to the Portland metro area over the past, 25, 30, 35 years. And I think Portland has become a lot more transient over that time. And, people definitely do move here for work and for a career. And maybe not everybody stays necessarily, but it could be the case where a lot of people who are relocating to the Portland metro area enjoy the natural environment, the natural beauty, etc., the opportunity for outdoor recreation, and then they try to find a job here to have the ability to relocate here. Whereas maybe other areas, it's like, the best job is in this area, and I'm going to move here because, this career opportunity is there, sort of regardless of if there's other things there that are going to be a lifestyle fit or the type of environment that I want to be in. So it could be the case where this natural beauty, etc., is such a draw to the area, especially for people who've moved here in recent years, that of course this is going to be their top response because this is what brought them here in the first place. And Portland and the metro area has a pretty good job market. There are some great career opportunities here. So I think people can kind of find what they're looking for overall. But it's interesting to think about, how much of a redeeming quality this natural beauty, etc., is in terms of keeping people here, especially when compared to a lot of the issues that we do have here in the area as well. Because the article that accompanied the survey posed the question, does the ability to be outdoors and enjoy nature lead to a rosier outlook in terms of how the city is doing, how the area is doing, and maybe give people the ability to overlook things or at least think things are better than they are. There's a survey, and we've done videos about this that comes out every year, basically polling people in Portland and the metro area about how they feel things are going, what the top issues are, etc. I talked about it at the start of this video, what some of the primary issues kind of plaguing Portland are. And I think there's a lot of consensus around that. But despite all of that, the outlook that people have does tend to be improving. There was a sharp decline, 2020 up until recent times, but in this last survey that was conducted actually showed that people's sentiment was improving considerably. So it's hard to say. In the article, they actually engage somebody who studies like civic sentiment. I don't know if it's a sociologist or something like that, but basically pose the question, since being outdoors and enjoying nature does lead to improvements in mood and mental health and things like that, does that also contribute to a better outlook in terms of how things are going civically? And this particular person that they engaged said that that is probably a little bit of a stretch where, she's saying most people are going to have the ability to enjoy nature and outdoor recreation, etc. over here, but over here see that there are these major issues that remain largely unsolved. So it's tough to say. It's also documented that Portland has a higher rate of depression and mental health issues and things like that. And I know we've talked about that in other videos too, where some of that could be related to the weather specifically. I think it's a far stretch to say that, oh, we're in a beautiful place, so any issues, especially issues that might affect my day-to-day life, are going to be easily ignored because, the trees are beautiful. I definitely don't think that that's the case. So I think that makes the argument for, though, how unique of a place Portland and the metro area is in terms of the natural beauty and the access to outdoor recreation and the ability to access all these great parks and green spaces and hiking trails and lakes and rivers and again the coast and central Oregon and mountains. And there is something for everybody at every speed in terms of getting outdoors and enjoying nature, where it's enough to keep people around despite some of the issues that, yes, we very much still have. So I think for anybody watching this video who is considering moving to the Portland metro area and with natural beauty and opportunities for outdoor recreation at the top of their list of things that are drawing them to the area, these numbers, these stats or these survey responses rather, goes to show that there's enough value in those opportunities and the beauty, etc., to maybe put up with some of the things that are happening here also. So I think that at the very least is an interesting takeaway. It's definitely not the case where everybody is just so happy-go-lucky again because it's really beautiful. So, nothing else really matters. I think people do care about, a lot of the issues that we have and, whether they are just more compelled to vote or more compelled to volunteer, whatever it may be. I think there is a fair amount of civic engagement in that way, or at least people pay attention to the issues going on and the potential proposed solutions, a lot of which haven't been the right prescription up to this point. Again, it's very interesting that there is enough people that are sticking around because of everything that the area does offer. And there's enough people who are still moving to the area because of what the area offers, again, despite some of the issues that we have. And if you are thinking about moving to the Portland metro area, and if you want to talk more about your budget, what you can get and where, your timeline, maybe where the best places to live are to access some of this natural beauty, these green spaces, these trails, etc. Give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or click the link down below in the description of the video. Schedule a Zoom call with us and we can talk more about it. If this video was helpful, make sure to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. If you want to get more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. As always, we really appreciate you watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.